Hello and welcome to Rastax. I'm Dr. Jacob. It's been 20 days since the brutal rape and murder of a young junior doctor in Kolkata in the RG Kaur Hospital. Now, the question is, first it was being investigated by the Kolkata Police, then by the CBI. There's been one person who's been arrested who is the sole accused as of now. That's what we believe. But the more moot question that needs to be asked of the CBI, of the agencies that are investigating this case, is that were there other elements who were involved in this? We had the audio phone call conversations which came out a few hours ago about how the authorities at the RG Kaur Medical College, in the aftermath of this brutal rape and murder, in their communication with the family of the victim, were trying to first pass this off as some kind of an accident, and second, say that this was some kind of a suicide. The question is, why are these people not being questioned? Why are they not being arrested? And was there a concerted attempt by the institution, by the authorities, the management of RG Kaur Hospital to try and hush up this case? If there was, then they need to be held accountable. But first, the story of what has been going through over the last 20 days since this very, very grim and unfortunate case came to light.
নেক্সট উইকে অ্যাসেম্বলি কল করব বিধানসভা স্পিকারকে বলে, এবং আমরা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল অ্যাসেম্বলি থেকে আগামী 10 দিনের মধ্যে ফাঁসির ধর্ষকের ফাঁসি চাই এই বিল আমরা পাশ করে রাজ্যপালের কাছে পাঠাবো।
ममता बनर्जी जी, आपकी ममता कहाँ चली गई है? जिस प्रकार से निर्ममता का परिचय आप दे रही हैं, लगातार पीड़िता के माता पिता और खासकर माताजी का जो बयान आया है, ये बड़ा दुख देता है।
जिस तरीके से एक महिला के साथ जितना निंदनीय, उस घटना की जितनी निंदा की जाए उतना कम है। और आप क्या कर रही हैं बदले में? आप दोषारोपण कर रही हैं, आप दूसरे राज्यों में देख रही हैं। अपने राज्य को आप संभालिए मुख्यमंत्री ममता बनर्जी जी।
যেটা আগামী দিনে গোটা দেশব্যাপী একটা পজিটিভ চেঞ্জ আনতে পারত, সেটাকে হাইজ্যাক করে নোংরামিতে, নোংরা রাজনীতিতে নামিয়ে এনে।
All right, let's open this up to our guests who are joining us on the full panel tonight. On Brastack, Shrotruppa is a spokesperson of the Bengal BJP. Dr. Riju Datta is national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Nazrul Islam is former ADGP of the West Bengal. Mukherjee, senior journalist, joining us. Dr. Riju, start with you first. Yeah. Anybody needed that the hospital in the initial, after rape and murder, were trying to completely obfuscate the truth, completely cover up the truth? You look at those two phone calls by the two assistant superintendents. First, the person says, "Oh, your daughter is under threat, please come and rescue her." The second person says, "Oh, she could have committed suicide, please come and collect her body." It is very apparent that the college authorities were trying to hush this whole thing up. And I don't know why, but it's been 20 days, but the Kolkata Police and subsequently the CBI have not been able to book the college authorities for what is apparent dereliction of duty.
You have answered the question yourself. That was the answer I was about to give you. That if a lady has called the parents of the victims and misled them, and I'm saying misled them, given them misinformation, it is criminal. That lady has a phone number which was displaying on the victim's father's phone. That lady can be tracked. Last 12 days, Zaka, 12 days, the principal, the medical superintendent of vice principal, the dean of students, the HOD chest medicine, HOD forensic medicine have been grilled by the CBI. Their homes raided by the CBI. Please tell me when all these people, if I even agree with you hypothetically that the hospital authorities try to distort information, try to give a cocky story or a nonsensical story to the victim's family, they are all at the disposal and the behest of the CBI. What has CBI done from 13th of August till today, 30th of August? 17 good days where you are grilling the principal every day for 12 hours. It looks like CBI has given him a job. He's going on a shift in the morning, he's coming back at home, and sometimes they're raiding his house like work from home. What kind of nonsensical circus is going on with the CBI? I have no clue. But Zaka, I want to make a bigger and important point here. If you allow me 30 seconds. That is, after the Nirbhaya case happened, there were several voices in the parliament like Venkaiah Naidu, Jaya Bachchan ji, Renuka Chaudhary ji, B. Raja and the late Sushma Swaraj ji, who wanted strict, stringent laws. Because rapes are happening in Bengal, rapes are happening in Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Gujarat, everywhere. Nothing has changed in the past, God knows, 20 years. Nothing has changed. So my chief minister has wrote a letter to the prime minister. And she has said in the assembly, we will pass a law where we will say that capital punishment for rapists. My leader Abhishek Banerjee said, I will bring a private member bill in the winter session where I will say time-bound, specific time frame manner, rapists should be hanged by gallows. Where are we wrong? Are we demanding this for the daughters of Bengal or are we demanding it for the daughters of this country? But unfortunately, rape tourism and vulture politics is the need of the hour for the opposition parties in Bengal. All they want is Mamata Banerjee resign. Nobody is bothered about justice for this daughter. Nobody is bothered about giving the capital punishment to the culprits.
Let me ask Shatrupal of the BJP. Fact is, the CBI took over this case on the 13th of August this month. It's been 17 days since the CBI has been investigating. Why are they not able to arrest Sandeep Ghosh? He's been questioned for 12 hours a day for the last 10 days. Why are they not able to arrest the assistant superintendents who made that phone call to the victim's family and said, first phone call, that look, her condition is precarious, please come and save her. Second phone call says, oh, she could have committed suicide. Why is the CBI shy of arresting these individuals? Shatrupal.
Saka, regarding the CBIs, I'm sure you understand that I am not the spokesperson of the CBI, but from the BJP, we are incredibly concerned as to exactly what is happening. But at least what we can see, what the police should have done in the first 4 days, I have been maintaining my three straight questions. One is they did not secure the site of the crime. You can see from the video, which is now being circulated. One, they did not question anybody who was on duty, leave alone Sandeep Ghosh. And thirdly, the details of almost everything is out. I mean, the postmortem was done there. There was a tremendous hurry-burry to cremate the girl. So all this, there was absolutely no attempt to track the case, so to say. But at least as far as CBI is concerned, what we can see on television, they're moving around, they're trying to collect forensic evidence. They've even gone to this Sanjay Rai's residence. They've, at least on the media, we've understood that they are doing various kinds of tests, like the lie detector test, some tower dump test. I thought that I understand much of all this. But CBI is doing its bit, and since it is a court-monitored inquiry, I believe they have given a sealed envelope in the Supreme Court, wherein I think CBI representative also said that, my lord, we've been given the inquiry on the 5th day, and that very night, the entire evidence was, done away with that rampage in RG Court. Having said that, let me come back to the other. May I?
Yeah.
The other part of what Ritu said, typically insensitive of Trinamool, typically insensitive, one can still use the words like rape tourism. I vehemently object as a woman. But Mamata Banerjee can keep on raving and ranting from the stage and giving her special slogans, even writing to the Prime Minister, which, by the way, has been adequately answered by the Minister of Women and Children Welfare. But she is now going and passing a law and wants to pass a law in the Assembly.
I want to describe to our viewers the images that we are showing on the right-hand side of the screen. The Kolkata Police has released these images just a few hours ago. there are various senior officers. There is the Commissioner of Police, there is the additional CP, there is OC, WC cell, lady officer from the Tala police station, FSL staff, all of them who are trying to protect the crime scene. Now, I want to ask Nazrul Islam, who is a former ADG of police. Now, the biggest sort of contention against the Kolkata police has been that when those, hooligans came and tried to disturb the seminar hall and surrounding proceedings there, the contention against them has been that they were not interested in protecting the crime scene at all. But now with these images which have been put out by the Kolkata police of the ADG, of the Commissioner of Police, other senior police officials trying to sort of wound a kind of blanket of security around there, do you believe that the crime scene is protected in a way that we can actually find out who caused this very, very debilitative rape and murder of the victim?
No. Actually, if the crime scene is the seminar hall,
Yes.
then only one gate was open. So if the criminals come to her, then it should be come through the gate. And if he goes out, if or they, it will be through the gate. So if the crime scene should be protected, the entire seminar hall should have been protected. They have not done it. And you can see the number of people who were not supposed to be there. And you have already described it, that the incident took place at about 4 early in the morning.
Yeah.
And if it is taken as true that the college authority came to know about it at 9:30, then the assistant super first making the call and telling the parents that their daughter is ill, unconscious. When the parents rang back, the same person told that she has been taken to emergency. And after some time, the same assistant super informed that their daughter had committed suicide. RG Kar is a medical college and hospital. There is no dearth of doctors. So
Okay.
the doctors could not understand whether it is unconscious body or a dead body.
Yeah.
So she was dead at 4. So giving the information that she is ill, she has been taken to emergency and she has committed suicide is only to cover up the crime of rape and murder. And in keeping with this, not only the parents, the police station also, they have informed that an unconscious body.
Okay, let me ask
They
Shikha
could not
Mukherjee,
find
if
out
that is
that
the
the
case,
body
as
was
Nazrul
dead.
Islam says, that this was a case of a suspicious death of an individual concerned, why were the police then trying to say, oh, please come and collect her, she is sort of trying to survive against whatever happened to her? The second phone call that happened said she could have committed suicide. Isn't it apparent to you, Shikha Mukherjee, the hospital authorities were trying to cover this whole thing up in the first place? And as a consequence of that, so was the police, the state police, and so was the state administration.
Well, certainly there's something very, 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 very dubious about the entire process of informing the people, filing an FIR, and this whole business of when was the FIR filed. Apparently, it was filed very late.
Yes.
Therefore, there are. I'm so sorry. There was plenty of gaps. But having said that, this is a question that is even more puzzling for me. There is one arrest which was made about the 12th or 13th of August. And since then, we have no information. Kolkata Police today releases some information, some visual. But where is the rest of the information? Why was this woman killed? Why was this young girl killed? How did this guy who walked in there? I mean, Mr. Nazrul Islam is here. This is a question to which I have never received an answer, which is, how did this guy even know that she was there in that room in his sleep? So somewhere along the line, there are loads of questions of the means and the motive of this murder.
Okay.
The second thing is that when the doctors, young doctors who are on protest and have been on protest since day one, are saying that it is our concern, we want justice for this girl. We also want assurances that this particular murder will not be replicated if we return to work. They're worried.
Okay.
In other words, they themselves are raising a question about why did this girl die? And they are worried about the reasons for her death.
No, but are you not worried that the first phone calls made by the college management seem to suggest that they were trying to hush up this whole case? That's the moot point. Why were they doing that?
I don't think that is the moot point. The moot point is that if there was a hush up, why was there a hush up? Why was this particular girl targeted? You answer that very basic question, the rest of it all comes out.
No, I think the fundamental point is that this doctor and her case was hushed up, or at least being tried to hush up, by the college management, whether it was the assistant superintendents or whether they were instructed by the management of the hospital. It is clear to me as daylight, Dr. Riju Datta, that somebody was trying to hush this whole case up. What was their motive? And why are those people not under arrest already? Who says, you're a doctor, who says, please come to be with your daughter, she's fighting for her life, in the first phone call that the college authorities have made to the victim's family? Who says that?
Zaka, my humble submission to you is, none of the people on this panel, including you or the viewers of your channel, are privy to the status report of the CBI, which is supposed to be placed in front of the Chief Justice on 5th of September. Point number one. Point number two, the answer to your question is that all these hospital administrators, from the principal to this assistant super who made these calls, to even the security guards, are polygraphed, are grilled, are asked multiple times to come to CBI for interrogation. Why has CBI not arrested them if they're guilty? Why your frustration, you're shouting out of frustration, I am also shouting out of frustration. Why? If somebody has misled the victim's parents, first of all, you have to also understand that this audio leak is a major lapse from the CBI as well. Now, even after the audio leak has come out into the foray, there's a woman who's identifying herself as the assistant super, misleading, giving misinformation to the victim's family. She is at the disposal of the CBI. What is CBI doing? That is what the Calcutta Police has done multiple press conferences. When will CBI do a press conference and say that this is what we have done in the last 17 odd days?
Let Shatrubha answer that. Shatrubha, I mean, the question that's being asked is, why are these two assistant superintendents, clearly they were trying to mislead the probe, clearly they were trying to mislead the family of the victim, why have they not been arrested despite multiple rounds of questioning? That's the question from Dr. Riju Datta. Shatrubha.
Zaka, Riju can keep shouting whatever he wants to, but again I'm going to say CBI is being monitored by this none other than Supreme Court of India, and I'm sure CBI will give their necessary report whenever. But the question here is, again, I want to push it back to the police. This call happened, look at the insensitivity of the voice. Obviously, like Shikha is saying, that there is a clear attempt to cover up. First they call up and say, oh, please come, maybe your daughter's ill, and then they say that something has happened to the daughter. Then they say that suicide, and then the person in question, Shwandi Ghosh, he has been completely insensitive in the whole thing from the morning, saying that what was she doing there in the night? Why was she on night duty? Mind you, Zaka, he is the super. He should be knowing the roster. He should be knowing that the girl was there, and he possibly also knew. Why possibly? He knew very clearly. Did you please behave yourself? I didn't talk in your time. Shondeep Ghosh has very clear. Zaka, please stop him. I can't hear myself.
Riju, 1 second.
Basic Sherlock Holmes cannot have
Riju, please, 1 second.
The way the West Bengal government has gone all out to protect this one man, that also is a big question in the eyes of West Bengal people. You know, Zaka, right now, it has gone beyond BJP, CPM, Trinamool, Congress, anybody. People are now asking, why? What were the police doing? Here you have a police commissioner who comes on to or in front of media on the night of the rampage at Rajikot and throws up his hands and says, I'm sorry, I don't have resources. So the police minister for the last 13 consecutive years did not think it necessary to equip the police commissioner with adequate resources.
So let me ask Nazrul Islam, former ADGP of the police there in West Bengal, that it's very, very clear, sir, that all of these protests, whether they are politically motivated, whether they are trying to prove a point, score a political point as it were, it's very clear that fundamentally the victim at RG Kaur, the lack of protection that she was given, and most importantly, after this whole thing came to light, the manner in which the authorities, the college authorities, tried to suppress this whole case, it's very evident that they need to be held to account, whether it is the principal, whether it's the assistant superintendent or whoever it was. Now, the problem is, Nazrul Islam, neither the Kolkata police who were first investigating this, nor the CBI now seem to be wanting to call any of these people for interrogation and arrest them, when it's apparent that there was an attempt to try and hush this whole thing up.
In my opinion, the Kolkata police tried to destroy the evidence and cover up the crime of rape and murder. CBI, I have not seen anything that they are doing so. But you have to remember that CBI is not investigating the case from the beginning. Much damage was done to the case. A 13 order was there. Actually, from 14 CBI is investigating. And in a case like this, when there is no eyewitness, the forensic evidence only can
Mr. Nazrul Islam,
identify
you will be
the
taken to
criminal.
court for saying this. You will be taken
No,
to
one
court
second,
for saying
Dr.
this.
Datta, no, 1 second. Let him say what he has to say. Whether he gets taken to court or not, that's not your remit or my remit. He is a free individual. He is allowed to say what he wants to say. No, sorry. Let him continue saying. Yes, Mr. Islam, continue, please.
I am saying the case was started, police was informed at 10:10. The inquest was done as 16:20. And it was done not on a criminal case, but on an UD case.
Okay.
And there it was noted that there are several injuries, 10, 11
Yes.
at least mentioned clearly.
Yes.
And there was oozing of blood from the private parts and from mouth and other parts.
Okay.
After seeing this body, every police officer has got the training I got. And in Kolkata Police, I worked for 7 years as DC DD, also as DC headquarters.
Okay.
So from my experience, there cannot be any doubt that any police officer will understand this is a case of murder and rape, not an UD case.
Okay. I got to
where
wrap up
the
at that. I'm completely out of
postmortem-
time. Thank you very much, Nazrul Islam, Mr. Dr. Riju Datta Shatrupa, and Ms. Mukherjee for joining us. Like I said, the most important thing is that all of us want justice for the victim who was brutally raped and murdered. Unfortunately, the politics between the CBI on the one side, the state police on the other side, and of course the monitoring of the High Court, that leaves a lot to be desired, and we really, really hope that the victim in this case finally finds justice. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, I sit down with Thiruvananthapuram Member of Parliament, Senior Congress Leader Dr. Shashi Tharoor. He's come out with a new book about words, but I also ask him about this raging controversy that's going on in the Malayalam film industry, where one by one, big name actors, directors, producers are all being felled for what is very, very repudiative behavior against women. I talk about that and a lot more on the other side of this exclusive interview with Dr. Shashi Tharoor.